as far as goals in the company go, I have worked in other places where they try and implement these very specific timelines and have this done by this period of time, so you have to work a 10, 12-hour day all week to try and get something that's kind of half finished that might pass for, like, it might not be a realistic goal, but often managers might not be programmers or might not understand what goes into something. So we have a very fluid sense. So each quarter we have a theme. For each quarter, Russell, along with the admin team, get together and they put together what they feel are realistic goals for the quarter to accomplish. So for Add Shoe, we need to get all of the blocks completed and tested and, you know, good to go on the beta. Or for implementation, they need to get X amount of hours completed. And we get prizes if we finish these different tasks. And, you know, sometimes we might not complete the goals, you know, one department or two departments or whatever, but I think it's a fun way to be driven towards a goal. You have a whole quarter, 3 months to do something.
I think goals are definitely very important. It gives you something to work towards. I like the way we do it here at ABIS. As you know, we have our big, hairy, audacious goal, which is 10 years down the line, and then we have our annual goals, and then we break them down into our quarterly goals. And you know, when you're working for a quarterly goal, you're working hard to meet that in a 3-month time, but that's also helping you to reach your annual goal and then your BHAG. So I know for me personally, I like breaking my goals down into milestones, and then I can reach, you know, I say, okay, to reach this goal, this is what I need to do.
The best way to measure, if you can come up with something that is measurable related to a person's position, then you can build key performance indicators for KPIs in order to track that. That's best because it's something that is objective. So an individual can just, you know, it's something personal. It's what's wrong with this number? Why aren't we going up there? And to have a clear oversight where they know where they stand all the time. People need that feedback so that they can course correct as quickly as possible.
A big thing for us is time. Like, we only talk about time. You know, we have so many hours in the week, and then we have so many things that we have to get done within that week. So for us, our goals are based around turnaround. How fast can we see a problem, fix it, and then provide solutions to the customer. And then being able to track time and forecast how much time something is going to take us, and then see the results of that. Our KPIs are always looking towards a individual objective, so you can help yourself manage your day as well as the team objective. How much is the team giving back to clients, and how much time or how many resources are devoted towards all of that.
You know, seeing a company, and when you start to utilize them in your day-to-day operations, in your day-to-day practices, and the way you truly run your company, it takes a little bit of kind of like getting your hands off of, you know, I want reports, I want to pull this report, I want to see this, I want to look at this report. And I think it takes a little while to get off of that, but then once you can let it go and you can just run everything off of dashboards and KPIs and stream everything, and everything runs off of acceptance, and you don't have to do all those reports. I think once you can let it go, I think it's kind of freeing to, you know, it lets a little bit of pressure off, but it takes a little while. Nobody kind of take their hands off, or you have your KPI, but you have to report for a little while, and eventually it goes away.
So I think there's three sides to this. I think from the professional services side and the consulting side, you obviously have to measure things like billable time and revenue. It's what allows us to grow. It's what allows us to hire more employees. It's what allows us to expand. So that's important. The second side is the client. And measuring that is fairly difficult from a KPI standpoint, because you don't have some daily tick on how happy the customer is. I think that's a huge metric that you have to really rate your performance on, because again, if you have a lot of billing but your customer's unhappy with you, that billing is going to go away very quickly. And I think the third thing is the morale of our team and each employee, each team member. It is very crucial that consultants in particular don't get burned out, that they don't get in too big of a monotonous kind of rut where they're doing the same thing and they're not growing and they're not being challenged, or they're being challenged too much. What's important is that you have to have all three. If you don't have all three pieces to that triangle, we are not accomplishing our goals.